In a world wrought with struggle and strife, a world rich with beauty and grandeur, a world where peril lies around every corner, a world of casting and pony. One group steps up to share the perspective of the masses in this, the world of Warcraft. We are Pwnecast, the voice of the players.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Welcome back. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 64, and we are in patch 6.2. I am your Warlock host, Belle. Looks like we actually got Frieza here tonight after a 2-week... I don't even know what he was doing for 2 weeks.
It's been a little mess. I'm happy to be back, for sure.
No comment, but you're happy to be back.
I thought you forgot how to get out of your ice block.
I did also bring the Riders of Rohan with me, but I did bring the mage who disappeared because he followed the ice cream truck, Frieza.
You know what? This is very interesting today because although you did not know, I actually went to an ice cream truck today.
That's kind of creepy, actually.
That is kind of creepy. I did not tell her about that. I went to an ice cream.
Straight from the lawn.
Exactly. I definitely went to an ice cream truck today. That's pretty creepy. Interesting.
Ice cream trucks are one of those timeless things. It doesn't matter how old you are, you will always run out for the ice cream.
I get excited when you hear that music.
I think I creeped him out because I walk up to him. I was like, "Hey, you ever seen The Iceman?" And he's all, "What's that?" I go, "It's a movie about a serial killer. He's like an ice cream guy, and he kills people, and he puts them in the freezers in an ice cream truck." I'm going to be honest, he didn't respond to my conversation.
He probably wanted to just run away because that would freak me out. Really.
He just gave me my receipt, and I was like, okay, that was too deep for you.
If anybody listening or watching runs an ice cream truck, don't go through Frieza's neighborhood because he might want to talk to you about serial killers.
Pretty much.
We are glad that you're here, though.
Thank you. It's good to be back. It's awesome.
We did also bring the Death Knight who refuses to take his tinfoil hat off, Lycan.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I actually sat there and talked to Grand Nagus again for 2.5 hours yesterday.
Every day, that's all he talks about, guys. Every day.
And I've got so many more theories, but some of them are just really strange. And I don't want to go into more, but all I got to say are why the orcs in the movie skinned brown.
We're actually going to talk about that when we talk a little bit about some of the art that we've seen, some scenes from the movie that in, picture-wise that we've seen from the Comic-Con and all of those things. So we're actually going to get a little bit into your theory on skin tone. I did also bring the Aussie who's going on vacation and possibly is going to come back with Ebola. Huge bloke.
Yay! Ebola monkeys for the win.
Where are you going?
Everyone. We're going to Bali, in Indonesia. It's like the cheapest holiday I can possibly get without leaving the generalized area of Australia.
Swine flu, bird flu, the hantavirus?
Pretty much all of those and above. We may not be going because a volcano erupted the other day, so, I'm on a roll.
I wouldn't want to go there. You definitely...
It's an amazing place. It's a beautiful place. I can't.
You look like you're already dressed for some type of
I am.
something.
I've got my sun burning my retinas off because
like
I haven't been outside in like
ensemble
a year.
You have.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to blend in. Like, I don't know. There's a tree behind me. I'm trying to blend into it. I got my camo on. I'm all set.
I don't know if we just insulted people or not because I don't really know what that means, but I feel like we just insulted someone.
It's all.
I have no comment towards the situation.
That'll be the second group of people we've insulted.
Okay, that might have happened. Before we get into any further fuckery with those comments, a lot of stuff going on this week in particular in regards to the Warcraft movie. So Comic-Con's happening in San Diego. Really sad that I wasn't a part of it, or even any of us were. I'm thinking next year that's going to be another con to add to the list of places to be. But Warcraft movie, lots of stuff has been coming out. They took lots of pictures of the booth. The cast was there. They did show... Now, it's not necessarily a trailer per se, just footage from the movie. is what they actually showed. It was about 6 minutes long. What, right? They did show quite a bit.
I think they said 7 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty long. So unfortunately, none of us got to see that because we're over here with jobs that can't go to cons. But I do have a nice little description that was written up based off what was being shown for the trailer. So, or not necessarily trailer, but actual footage of the movie. Okay, so this is actually just in. I love when we have a news desk that gives you live news. So the trailer for the public will officially be released in November. That came from Duncan Jones himself. The official release of the trailer will be November. So that's exciting, which I think earlier we'd kind of thought maybe September or December was even mentioned, which obviously it's going to be in November. BlizzCon's in November, so you don't really got to be a genius to figure that one out.
We already thought of that before.
We did.
Yeah.
We really did. And I'm excited that we're going to be able to see it, and I can't even wait. So that's super duper exciting. So let's talk about what they were able to see. So basically it starts with the focus on the Horde, and it shows a bunch walking across the wilderness until they come to an area with a bunch of green orcs. We do spend some time with the orcs as they realize they need to find food and water basically to save their world. It shows a lot of Duratan and his wife, which of course she's pregnant, which according to this, it's a big part of the story. So in large part of the storyline for the movie surrounds Duratan in that whole scene. Then you do see a wizard, which is annoying because Medivh is not a wizard. I don't even know what that even means.
I hate wizards.
Right. He's not really a wizard, but...
We don't have wizards.
Maybe the nerd translation feels like it's a wizard, which I told you that's why I always like warlocks, because they felt very Merlin-ish to me. So I guess that makes a lot of sense. So Medivh is creating a portal from the souls of prisoners, which according to the description was pretty epic when you're watching it on that giant screen that they had at the Comic-Con. The portal's created and the orcs rush through it, and the whole section, basically this whole time, there's no humans as of this point. When they get through the portal, they first see the humans on horseback, and we see King Lane and some other characters who say that the Horde are monsters and need to be destroyed. That's kind of mean, but I mean, whatever. There's a lot of footage of all characters, but it kept cutting back to Duratan and his wife, who has the baby in the human world where basically he's in danger, which makes a lot of sense. So no trailer, just all footage. That's pretty much the gist of what was seen. There was mention when I read the transcripts of another interview, there was mention of Gul'dan being in some of the footage, which I thought was pretty interesting. I didn't really know how much of a role Gul'dan played in the Orcs versus Humans, but apparently it was a really big, because that was really before my time. So, I mean, can you be mad at all of that going on?
On that, Gul'dan was the counterpart. He was the one mind linked with Medivh that was trying to do the whole portal thing. And the reason they're really focusing on Draka and Duratan is that that is the parents of Thrall.
Right.
So that's, I mean, we heard Duncan Jones say it also this week that they want to do a trilogy, and that he's willing to go ahead and put that out there. And Metzen said, yeah, that would be great. So, I mean, we could see how that could progress up until now, too.
In reading about that today, which for those of you who haven't been kind of news watching, Duncan Jones did talk about that's the direction they want to take it in. They want to take it into a trilogy aspect. They even compared it to hoping that it becomes as legendary as Lord of the Rings. Now, as a Lord of the Rings groupie, junkie, fan, I mean, whatever you want to call me, whatever. So I don't really know if anything is ever going to be as life-consuming and epic as Lord of the Rings, to be perfectly honest. But I think that that's a really good goal to have, and if anybody can pull it off, it can be legendary films and it can be World of Warcraft that can take it to that next level. So
and it wasn't just that Lord of the Rings had the high budget and it had the great graphics and it had all the great war scenes. It wasn't just that made the movie. It was the acting that made the movie.
It really did.
And I've seen some great movies with a very high budget, and the acting was terrible, and the whole movie was horrible because of that. And so we got to hope that not only do they – I think in 2015 with a big budget, you're always going to do good with graphics. I think that's not the problem anymore with 2015. I don't think it is. They have to get the actors. They have to focus more on that than the graphics. I think yeah.
It's a good sign. Like, to me, the Duncan Jones coming out and saying, I wouldn't mind making this into a trilogy, and we have a direction that we could head in with it now. That's a sign that to me instills confidence that they're proud of the product that they have. Because if you remember back to BlizzCon last year at the movie panels, he's like, "We have a movie. We wouldn't even we're not considering anything beyond it. We're not even looking at that. But now obviously they're wrapping things up. But they must be happy with where they are, and they know they've got room to move forward. And now they're starting to think. And it's like Bell says every other week with the way Blizzard operates in terms of their games. Like, they know what they're doing 3, 4, 5 years down the track. They already know if there's going to be a next one, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're already working on it. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I think it's going to be awesome.
I'm excited for the CGI, to be perfectly honest, because I know what their capabilities are. I mean, we all do, but I mean,
here's the biggest thing I'm scared of. You know, I'm a movie. I consider myself a movie critic. I watch movies all week. I'm really afraid of the digital aspect of the whole thing. I think a lot of movies that go pure digital, they ruin it. I think that's what made Steven Spielberg so great at what he did, was he didn't want to go digital. He wanted to keep it actors in suits and make it real as possible. And I think anytime a movie goes digital, all digital, it looks fake, it looks weird.
Well,
that fighting's kind of
CGI,
off.
what they do is in those bodysuits, it's still the same kind of scenario.
I get that, but I'm talking about full digital. I'm talking about full.
Oh, no. They're not. Full. I don't believe that.
Well, like if you guys are with me, Planet of the Apes, you watched the first one with Mark, what's his name? Mark Wahlberg, and then you watch the last one. It's a complete joke. The first one was better.
I think they got lazy towards the last one. They were like, we've already done this a few times.
So we just got to hope they don't go full digital on this movie. You know, we got to hope they actually keep the actors.
With Blizzard being the way that they are, I'm pretty sure that they have a huge process, and they're probably really standing over their shoulder with each piece. So, my assumption is that's a lot of the reason why it's taking so long, is because it probably has to go through several processes of approval, because essentially this isn't, we talked about this the other day, this isn't just for gamers. People are going to see this movie that is not gamers. This is their first vision into what this world is like. On a gaming aspect. So
and this is a big thing for them too, because you know, if they can get more fans out of this.
Agreed.
People that want to play the game just because of the movie.
Just like Resident Evil, just like any other you know, Tomb Raider, all these other video games that did movies. My Little Pony, you know, Rainbow Bright.
Whoa. Okay.
Don't you judge Rainbow Bright. She's amazing.
Well, I ask you this. How many people went out and bought Hello Kitty's Island Adventures after the Warcraft episode of South Park? I did.
I didn't, but I mean...
Well, that's your
People knew about it.
Great game.
So
people knew about it, yeah.
We're going to have lots of coverage on the movie, lots of things going on with the Punkcast Daily Quest, so you guys will definitely get all the news that you need. Pretty much, I mean, we've been stalking the interwebs on a 24-hour basis the last 2 days to just make sure that we're picking up all the things as it happens. So Duncan Jones confirmed November will be the public release, and you guys could probably guess it's going to be at BlizzCon. So
I wonder when that's going to be, or where that will
be. Imagine the possibilities. So pretty excited about that kind of stuff. So with some other news that we do have this week, there is a PvP event going on for the, you know, all the little new mini events that we've been having. Until Monday, skirmishes do award triple the honor. So when you go in there, you get triple the honor per your normal win. The quest giver in your garrison will actually, it's a random, they'll give you the quest the arena calls. If you win 10 of those skirmishes, you get 500 conquest points that do not count towards your weekly cap. So in essence, 2250, right, would be. So no, 2200. You'd be able to get 2200 conquest points, because that 500 for that quest does not count towards your weekly cap, which is pretty awesome if you're trying to get another piece. So make sure you guys have stepped into your garrison so that quest.
I like the way you said another piece. I'm still trying to get one.
I've been getting them from the mid thing in Ashram, but we'll talk about that later. Lots of not hotfixes in a sense, basically tuning for Hellfire Citadel. And this happens every raid release. They come out really heavy hitting, and then they kind of fine tune it in the different stages. So there's really too much to mention. So you guys can go to PwnCastDailyQuest.com and check out all the changes that they're making. And it's pretty much an every other day type of situation where they're constantly pruning different bosses, damage, abilities, and bug fixes as far as the raids are concerned. There's a hotfix in the works to correct the bug where the Alliance Conquest vendors aren't selling the Adaptation Medallion, which is versatility, and the Horde Conquest vendors are not selling the Cruelty Medallion, which is the critical strike. The hotfix is still in testing, but they are working on getting that pushed out so that people can buy those from the vendor. The Win 3 RBG gear drop has been corrected, so it appears as a quest when you enter your first RBG of that week and will now be awarded after your third win. So that's been adjusted. If anybody had any questions or concerns as far as that goes. With talking about the Warcraft movie, there's an app that we posted, the Legendary VR is what it's called on your smartphone. It does showcase the Skies of Azeroth, which essentially is a Griffin ride overview of Stormwind. Nice little virtual reality type of situation. You can move your phone to see different angles, and you basically get to do a run through. A lot of people kind of complained, oh, this is really ghetto, this is that. It's something. It's better than what we had the day before. I thought it looked pretty awesome. Could have been better, I'm sure,
And people aren't realizing when they show that video and it has two little boxes, it is made for the Google VR.
It really is. It's the cardboard, the Google cardboard.
Drop it in there and you're able to see exactly what's going on.
But if you're doing it without
they also don't realize that it's not a trailer, it's not anything from the movie. It's purely just a hype generator.
It's a teaser to tease.
Here's an idea of what you're going to be looking at. But if I'd put a lot of money on it that if that's the quality of the movie that's coming out, then there's going to be a lot of disappointed people. And I don't think they're going to do that.
And I'm sure that's no testament to the quality. It's taken them how many years to make this movie?
Exactly. But the amount of people that were on Bookface and forums just, oh my God, it looks shit, and that Stormwind doesn't look right, and this doesn't, and it's like, oh, I'm getting a nosebleed again. People, just patience and use what brain cells you have left, because you clearly lost a few when you wrote those comments. Just relax. We'll get there.
Calm down.
Have faith.
The Blizzard the Blizzard Gear Store convention sale is upon us. Lots of new items and merchandise that they have. If you spend $70, you get free global shipping, and you get this fancy legendary lanyard. Who doesn't want that, right?
Ooh.
I didn't even know what a lanyard was until last year. So with that being said, very happy that you get that from the new gear purchases. We have quite a few new items for Dark Moon Fair. And the new items from Dark Moon Fair can be bought with Dark Moon Daggermaw. 3 new pets, which is Blorp's Bubble, Translucent Shell. Those are both bought with the Daggermaw, and Hog's Studded Collar, which you actually get from an achievement called That's Whack. I love their play on words when they do the achievements. Somebody was bored when they come up with that kind of stuff because it's really punny. You also get 3 new cooking recipes: Fancy Dark Moon Feast, Lemon Herb Filet, and Sugar Crusted Fish Feast. Who doesn't want a sugar crusted fish, right? Sign me. It sounds disgusting, but I don't really like the Gortusk pie either. And I say that like I really ate it. Also, the quest, Celias' Secret Stash, it is still bugged as of this moment. If you're on the last step of the quest, all you need to do is open up a ticket and have the GM flag it for completion. So when they fix that bug, everything will be right with the world. I know, and you had firsthand experience with that.
Yep, I got a hold of him, and he actually, I did a phone call for a different reason as well, and he's like, yeah, I could take care of that. Flag to completion. I went back in, completed the quest, and it was done. And he said that's something that the GMs are working on. They say they put a bug fix out there, but it never went through for some reason. So just open a ticket and it'll be fixed.
So let's talk about the hot topic that I was saving for the latter part, because I think I don't know. I feel like some people might have the same opinion. Some people might have a different opinion. The ongoing battle for the human racial. Now, this has been a thing since the beginning of I can remember. People have always had an issue with the racial. Good, bad, or indifferent. Everybody feels differently about it, and that's okay. So, CM Lord did respond. We agree that the every man for himself is a problem. That's one we want to fix. It also is a more complicated issue to solve it than it may initially seem. We want to reduce the effectiveness of the human racial, but we don't want to leave humans with a useless racial either. So they are considering the different possibilities that they can do change-wise. I know, Friza, you are pretty happy about this, right?
Yes, this should have been done years ago. They should have did away with all those. In my opinion, they should have went to the extreme and got rid of all traits that were usable. I think they should all be passive. I think your race should have a passive ability, should cause you, where you have a mage for PvP and you pick a troll because he has a better passive for PvP, but for PvE, he would have a different passive for a boss fight. And I know Lycan made a good point saying, why not just make it customizable? Why not when you pick when you make your character at that start, you get to pick the traits you want him to have. And I am so pro customizing your character. I think every character should always be customizable to the extreme limit, especially in RPG. And I think giving us the ability to choose the role we want for your drawn eye, your gnome, your
Isn't that the purpose of picking the race, though? Because you get to choose picking that race?
No. Yes. Well, no. Here's the thing, though, is that's the whole point of an RPG. You want to customize. That's why the whole transmog was great. That's why the whole God, I'm already lost it. What was it called when you used to do your abilities?
Your tree. And I totally get what you're saying, but don't most people will pick a certain race because of
Well, that's what they do right now, but they need to eliminate that and let you pick the race you want and customize that race to what you want it to do. That's what made Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic so great, because you were able to do all that. And
that's the same thing. What you're trying to say, Sam, is I agree with you, but my thing is I like the Worgen lore story, and
so that naturally that's what you choose.
Right.
My question is, what does this affect on a long-term scale with PvP? You already know if you're going up against a certain race, you already know what you're working with as far as what their capabilities are in that racial. When you remove that and you give that customization, what strategy could you then do, or would it be one of those moments
where down to the class.
In the moment you would have to figure out, okay, this is what they chose, and you would know the first time, so then would that make it better, or?
It's interesting. It's interesting how you say that because, doing arenas as much as I have, you really never think of the race as much as when you're playing the person. But it's a good point because you're playing. You do about a couple thousand arenas, and then you see a dwarf mage or something, and you're just like, okay, this guy doesn't know what he's doing because he's the wrong race,
right.
for that class. So it's funny that you said that because I never put it in that perspective. It is true when we do see him.
You already have the strategy ready to go because you know what they're capable of.
We know that he's not the right class for a mage, and it's funny. I mean, that's very true. I guess I have been going in arenas knowing that this class has to be this race. This class has to be that race. Do you feel like it would
help make you strategize more because, okay, the first time you hit them with some type of CC, you would see what their reaction is to that CC based off what they chose, essentially.
I think being able to customize, is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about like from a defensive or an offensive strat. Okay, you're in an RBG. If everything's customized the way that you're saying, which I don't necessarily think is a bad idea, but strategy-wise, you would have no way of knowing what somebody's defensive is at all.
Wouldn't it be so great to find that out the second you do it to them?
And that's what I'm asking.
I think it'll be great. It won't break anything. It'll add, and that's what PvP is missing out on so much right now is the add.
Because it becomes a face roll at some point. Is that what you're saying?
That's what it is. I mean, just like I said, I go into arenas expecting one thing. And I go in there knowing that this is what he's going to do. This is what that's going to do. And if you were to mix all...
Why fix it? It's not broken.
It is broken.
Well, I'm not talking...
PvP?
I'm talking about in general.
No, the traits have been broken for years.
They've been
broken.
messing with them since the Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath of the Lich King, they really started looking and said, well, wait a minute, now we're getting out of hand with these traits. Then they went and added 2 more classes or 2 more races, and they're still going, well, this didn't solve anything. You know, for me, I got upset because if I wanted to be taken seriously last season as a hunter, I had to switch to human. You go on the forums and you look up hunters, and you
mean
on
like
Alliance,
being told you have to be affliction? Because I know that feeling. I mean, if you want to talk about customizing and you want to talk about what's good, how about you stop trying to force me to be something I don't want to fucking
Hey, they
because
came out and said they're not going to fix that. They came out and said they're not going to fix the balance.
They have no intention on that. So my question is, how come it's okay in certain instances, except for
RPG, for the RPG factor, that's why it should be okay, because this is not a console game.
Right.
You should be able to choose what you want to play and what you want to be. You shouldn't be forced to pick a certain thing just because you want to be number
more
one.
Than me.
Yeah.
Like, hi.
But, but there's the problem is this: we're not a perfect world. This is not a perfect game.
Agreed.
There is no blueprints for this. I know I've said that on other episodes. There is no blueprint. They're not following anybody else. They're making the blueprint for other games.
That's the direction they're looking to go in?
They should have done that a long time ago.
And I agree. In the customization that I had brought forth to Fryza and said this is what they ought to do, is that, you know, let's say give them 3 options. You know, one that would take you down a PvE aspect. You know, maybe it did base damage is this against non-player units. And then one would be a PvP aspect where it would give you some type of PvP advantage. Or if you wanted to farm with the character, and that's all you wanted to do with them, have it, you know, gain better resources, you know, while farming, and just have it like simple, non-evasive.
So what you're suggesting there is to essentially add in another tier across the bottom of the talent trees, but specifically for
he's talking about in character creation.
Racial traits.
Correct?
So
it would be in character creation.
You can either do it there, or even like he said, put it to the bottom of the talent tree, saying, okay, if it's a farming character, get the better resources one. If it's a PvP character, you know, maybe it has less reduction on stun effects, you know, whatever it might be.
But it's the class you want, and it's the race you want. There's the thing. Yeah, would they be adding a thing to your tree? Yes, but would you be able to choose the class and the race you want to be? Yes. As the 2 wins, I'm in.
I mean, I understand what you guys are saying, and I totally get it. Maybe it's just because it's what I'm used to. I enjoy that. I know, okay, this is your race. I know what's coming. I know what I'm working with, and I know how to kill you because I know that. So I mean. I don't know.
With that degree of customization, though, like at what point do you pull up stumps? Like, if you go, well, we should be able to customize. We should be able to pick which racial trait we can have for our character. And then 6 months down the track, it becomes, but I want my mage to be able to use, you know, swords and 2-handed maces. Mm-hmm. So why can't we? That's the kind of character I want to play.
$25 talent change like it used to be.
But I think part of what makes it World
like
of Warcraft and not these other games in which we're talking about separation as far as what makes it different, not like Star Wars.
This is what would make it different. This is what would make it different.
That's the thing, though. Like, at what point does
they haven't reached the point. They haven't reached it. Until they reach it, I like to see that. I like to see the day where you customize your character too much.
So you want to see the day where World of Warcraft is like every other game.
Every other game?
Yeah, like customization-wise is what I'm asking.
No, I don't. And what? Spec and talent-wise? No, I never
You guys were saying other games let you customize down to that. Right. So is that what we're wanting? We're wanting to have it be the same as others?
They are doing the opposite. Oh, I just lost focus. They are.
That was spirit
am I out of
fingers
focus?
there, sir. I saw that spirit finger.
Spirit fingers.
They are going to the extreme where, like I said it before, they're becoming a console game. You know, that's exactly what they're doing. I got more to say about that, by the way, when we talk about the PvP section.
But they are doing that already, and I may offend a whole section of the community here when they introduced Tauren Paladins. There is no lore that says that Paladin or a Tauren can be a Paladin. I don't care if the name Holy Cow sounds really funny. There is no reason they should be Paladins. And they went ahead and they've already crossed that line of full customization when they said, okay, well we'll let the cows be Paladins. No, there's no reason for it. So they've already gone above and beyond where they should have, in my opinion.
No,
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
That was the thing. Like, I don't think changing the race rules will get if they're going to do it, they should either get rid of them or leave them as it is. If you want a particular racial trait or just a trait in general,
Then you
it
pick
should
that
be
race.
like it used to be. Like Lycan just said, if you wanted to play a paladin, guess what? You go and play a human.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the same
Or
time,
whatever
like
that
back
allowed.
then, if you wanted to play a chamois, you go and play a tauren. You don't get those options. If
I think that's what
if
makes
that's
it
the
unique, and it makes it World of Warcraft and not other
It,
stuff.
yeah,
That
exactly.
makes it broken.
That's what made the man. No.
No, how many
you're
Draenei
tripping,
have
dude.
you seen in Arena? How many Draenei have you seen in Arena? Any of you?
Maybe
How many
doesn't
Draenei?
belong in arenas. Maybe they
That's
should be
okay,
back on
because I don't cover
Azure
them.
Missile or wherever they come from.
So you're okay with broken games? That's cool.
Well,
That's
it's,
cool.
it's what we've always
You don't
known.
like RPG.
It's
You don't like RPG.
it's what
You don't
we've
like
always
to
known.
customize.
That's been since day one. If I wasn't okay with it, I wouldn't pay $16 a month to play it. That's what we've
I'm
always
not okay
known,
with a
right?
lot of things, but
I
it's
don't
the only game out here like this, so I'm gonna play it. But
And I think that's what I'm saying is different. It's different, right?
no, it's broken. It needs to be fixed. There's better things that they could be doing, and they just haven't done it. If you want to talk about PvP, are you for reals right now? PvP hasn't changed in forever. I'm still playing the same arena I was playing when I was sophomore in high school. I'm 26 right now, and the arenas are still the same. Nothing freaking changes. Nothing changes ever. They need to start changing things for the better and stop taking things away. They add freaking selfie cameras. That's what they'll freaking add.
I like this.
No, they need to bring back what this game was about.
Can we edit
Now
that
everybody
last
has
comment out?
alts. Now everybody has alts. Now everybody plays all these tunes, and they don't even know what their main is. Their main is anymore.
I don't play
No one-
alt, so
no
I
one-
don't know what that even means. I've had the same main since day. I'm not an alt person.
Well,
I mean,
some
I
people
have
are.
them,
Some
but I don't.
You may not be, but I know a lot more people.
I don't have the mental capacity
don't.
to
Yeah.
take care of more than one.
I only have one
Garrison.
character as well.
Yeah,
I only have
so-
one, and I just stick with
I don't
him. But
have
we're a minority, and so that's what I'm trying to say is they need to start adding different things in this game to make people fall in love with the game again, make them fall in love with their character again, and this would be something that they're just figuring it out now. Wow.
I think it's just the natural order and change of things. I mean, obviously, they're still making a ton of money and people are still playing, so obviously something's there. It's not, I mean, I still play. I have issues. There's issues I have and complaints and things that I dislike, but, I mean, there's something there. People are spending their money on it, so there has to be some aspect that's keeping them drawn in. Maybe it's what they're always used to, and they just, it's one of those love things, and it's hope that Blizzard continuously works towards a better version of the version before, really kind of is what that is.
I give them points because at least they're looking at it. At least they're open to having a discussion and taking suggestions.
They're always.
Like, obviously, it's going to take a long, long time before they, and even if they do change it, doesn't matter what they're going to change it to. There's going to be at least 50 bajillion teen people
They're going to hate it.
that are still going to hate it. And I'm going to unsub and no worries. There's going to be just as many people that do like it. It's the nature of the beast. You can't keep this many people happy. Like, what are we sitting on? Like 7 million people at the moment.
I think so.
There's no way
As
you
of
can
last count, I
implement.
think.
There's no way you can implement that, be it a tiny change or a massive one, and keep 7 million people happy. Like,
At least considerations are made at the end of the day. Considerations are happening.
There's 5 people in my house. If I make sandwiches for lunch, at least 3 of them are going to hate it. It's the same theory, just on a much grander scale.
On that note, Hots makes delicious sandwiches and even
It's
remembers
true.
that I like Miracle Whip and not mayonnaise, and it was amazing for that role to be different because we have had several listeners that have told Belle she should be in the kitchen making sandwiches and not on a podcast. And little do they know, in the gaming house, Hots was making us delicious sandwiches.
He's literally kitchen bitch now, isn't
No,
he?
not at all. It's pretty even. Sometimes Wiener will go down there and she'll make foods, or I'll go down there and I'll make foods. I mean, it's pretty even.
Isn't it weenie?
It's
It's
Wiener.
weenie in the butt.
It's that is weenie in the butt.
It's weenie in the butt, but it's Wiener.
Oh, is
It's
that
funny when
okay?
you say wiener, and there's so many different contexts when you say wiener, when people just don't even know what to say because they're not sure if you're talking about a person, are you talking about a penis, like what's actually being said.
They just listen harder.
Right? No pun intended.
So we just graduated to like,
Done.
wow.
I'm done.
Now, see, this is what happens after a rant. We derail off into completely inappropriate wiener talk. So, yeah, but it's one of those moments where people don't really know. And when I say it to people that don't know who she is, they just kind of do a double take. And they want to ask you, I'm sorry, did you say wiener? But they're really afraid of your response.
Sorry, you're
so
talking about your wiener in
yeah, they
public.
just don't. And it's one of the, I like to make people feel uncomfortable as often as I possibly can. So that gives
Let's get awkward.
Let's get awkward for just a moment. So Lycan does have an excellent little, it's going to be a quick breakdown on, I'm not even going to say the word because I was made fun of last episode from our wonderful marketing manager, Perp,
Classic.
who thought it was funny to highlight my squawking bird impression.
The
Can you do it
Skeksis
for me?
sound. Don't do it just
I'm
once.
not doing it again because
Don't let the fans down.
so
do it
in
for
one
the
video
people,
he made me sound like a drunk, in the second video he made me sound like a bitch, and I'm like, I don't really know what's happening here, so we're just gonna make fun of me and that's all good. I mean whatever, but
The fans demand a
but it
replay
is
of that sound.
the Arakoa
Erica.
Arakoa.
It is the Erica.
Well, it's Koa, that's what I know, and I got that part
Close.
right, and that's all. Okay,
Skeksis.
It's the bird people. What do they sound like when they click on?
I'm not saying it. It's not
All right.
happening. No.
So anyway,
Bye,
yeah.
Felicia.
There are a couple new factions that we met up with in Tanan Jungle. One of them being the Order of the Awakened. For those who don't know, they are the bird people that are standing either in Lions. I think they're only Alliance, correct? Or they
I know
might be the cross faction one. But
Chrysler
anyway,
know that more than me.
There's only
I'm not
one
a
dirty horde trader around here, so maybe.
I'm sure there's one among us.
so the
I don't know what
Erica
he's talking about right now.
So the Erica Outcasts, they were a bunch of, they were a group of a faction that we met in Spires of Iraq. And what happened was they were actually outlawed from Skyreach, and those who were found breaking the laws of what they were doing, dabbling in the shadow magic, worshiping other gods other than Rukmar, they were actually hurled from the spires into what is called the cursed pools of Sethic Hollow. Their rings shriveled up, their bodies got all contorted, and that's why they kind of look like this. And they look like a kind of a bird zombie walking around. These are, if you go into Skyreach and you see the real, I call them like the regal looking ones, the real regal looking birds, the ones that are able still to fly, they are the same class.
Wait, there's regal-looking birds? I don't know.
Well, if
You mean the big, like the tall ones that stand up
correct,
properly and
right? They're all real tall, prim and proper. Maybe like.
Do they have tuxedos on? Sequin dresses? What's happening?
They got
I
all
just
bunch of
realized I could
jewels
do
on.
one of those as cosplay, but anyway.
That would be awesome. I could go as your little Erico buddy. I'll call him Tanya.
I'll be
But
thirsty.
but they are a very tight knit group, and they share common enemies with us. They want to get rid of the Burning Legion as bad as we do, and this is why we were able to forge that relationship with them in Spires of Rock. Now everybody's going, okay, what about the Order of the Awakened? Why are they? Who are they? Why are they special to Tanan Jungle? These group of outcasts, they were called Raven Speakers. They worshipped Anju's consort, which is Kala, and it's called the Raven Mother. With several of these outcasts, including Iskar himself, joined the Burning Legion in order to regain their wings. These outcasts were just, they were beside themselves. They were so upset that one of their own would actually go ahead to the Burning Legion, even though they're trying to get rid of them and fight them off. And the ones that remained that did not go to the Burning Legion, they were called They call themselves the Order of the Awakened. They are trying to reattack those who joined the Burning Legions to regain their wings and regain that power. And it's the same thing that the Orcs did. The Orcs were promised all this power. That's why you see Kilrog drink it. The Erico were offered this power as well. So that's who we're actually seeing now, and that's why they're so important with the Hellfire Citadel, because I believe we face at least one of them in Hellfire Citadel as one of the bosses in there. And So there's several different factions. We're going to go through a couple of them over the next couple of weeks. Who the Hand of the Prophet is, who the Saber Stalkers are. But I wanted to just kind of bring light real quick. Who the Order of the Awakened are. Again, Erico outcasts that are fighting against their brothers to decide to join the Burning Legion. So, keep watching. We'll go ahead and go through this. Rep grind for this one is actually probably the worst because there's only like 1 or 2 quests per day, and it takes forever.
Medallion.
The medallions are really the easiest way to do it.
If you have your trading post, it's level 3. It gives you, plus I'm a human, so I get 1,300 points per medallion. 1,300 rep with all the Draenor factions, actually, with that medallion. It's pretty swanky. Drops in Tanan. You can also buy it in the auction house.
I'd rather farm Saber Stalkers and Hand of the Prophets or whatever it is than go back Hydraxian Waterlords or the Bloodsail Admiral titles or things like that. So everyone's like, "Oh, I don't want to farm this." I'm like, go back and do that stuff, then come back and have a talk to Uncle Hugebloke and see how you feel.
Did you say Uncle Hugebloke?
Yes, he did. He did say that.
I like to make it sound creepy every now and then.
I say you sound like a creepy uncle that sits in a corner that nobody really wants to talk to, but everybody has to.
They're afraid to talk to you. I'd be afraid. I'm afraid with that hat. It's creeping me out.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, real quick, I wanted to do a real quick shout-out. We were doing rep grinds for Saber Stalkers the other day. I need to give a real quick shout-out to Missia, Capone, and Mena. They're all from Ice Crown. Capone is actually in our guild as well. And Tree Hugger, Darth Chains, and Tiergan from Argenton. We sat there the other night and did 4 hours of rep grind.
What was I doing? Sleeping? You guys all get to have fun, and I have to go to bed early because I have a freaking bedtime because I have a job.
Yeah, it was late at night.
I wake up every morning to so many posts on our Facebook, the guild Facebook, about all the fun that everybody had while I was sleeping because I have to be an adult. And I'm like, I'm so over this life of adulthood, I can't even deal with it.
Oh, my God.
You could just pretend you're Australian now because that's the same that happens with me.
I don't want to be an Australian. I don't like I'm sorry. I mean... It's not
she doesn't like kangaroos.
You do Aussie very well. I do white girl really well. I'm happy with that. Please.
I even went out and bought you a little bell-sized frostmourne.
I'm going to stab you with that at BlizzCon, just so you know.
Bad bell. No frostmourne for you.
You do Aussie really well. At the end of the day, why would I ever want to overshadow you? You do it the best. There will be no better. You like that spin? You like that
Hots
spin?
was honoured to be an honorary Australian, although I'm revoking that because he doesn't like wagon wheels.
I think when people say honorary, that's just their way of giving them something to shut them up.
It is.
I'm going to make you an honorary Australian, so be happy. Here's your fake badge.
Now shut the fuck up and get out.
That's pretty much how...
but we'll keep that between just us four because I don't want to upset him.
Right, he'll never know.
I mean, he'll never know. I can't imagine why he would ever know. So we did get through things pretty quickly. I think it's safe to say that we could probably get into our week in WoW. Frieza, what did you do this week in WoW?
I've been doing a lot of arena. I've been it was not a successful week, but some weeks are better than others. Definitely finding random people to play with, and it's very interesting because I talk to them on Skype all day, and I only play about an hour every day when I come home. That's all about all I get, and then I have to go to bed.
Same with me. I go in, and by the time I get in there, I'm so tired, I just go to bed.
Yeah, I play for about an hour at tops, and then that's it. But it was pretty fun. I learned a lot. I'm only running God comp this season, and I'm learning a lot about the comp for the first time. I thought I knew, and I'm definitely learning a lot more about how this comp should be played. And there's definitely a lot more to this comp that makes it winning the best comp. It's a lot more to that than just you got to have the right people, and you got to have you have to have them all on Skype, which is a big thing. Sometimes when you play with random people, you don't have one person on Skype, and it really does affect the whole team, whether it's low CR or not. But yeah, no, it was pretty fun. I learned a lot. I got to meet a lot of douchebags and a lot of great people on top of those douchebags. But yeah, it's fun. You know, I did get a fight this week, and it was interesting. This guy basically, he's not even rated at all, but for some reason he thought that he was the god of the world. And we're sitting there playing. We win 3 games in a row, and he's very vocal person, very, very opinionated. And he's like, "Oh, good sheep, good ring, good CCs." And the whole 3 games, man, this guy is like complimenting me and my partner. I met another guy there, and he's a druid and really cool guy. He's like me, he's low CR, whatever. But we're doing good. Either way, this guy's giving us both compliments and all that, and we're like, we don't even care about you. Like, you're just some random guy we met. Like, shut up. You know what I mean? So, anyways, the 4th game we lose, and his first comments to me and my friend, he goes, "Is this your first time ever doing arenas? Is this your first time?" He goes, he's all, "This is God comp. We shouldn't lose for like 20 games. He's all, "This is unbelievable." He goes, "I have not lost in like a week." And he just starts going off on us. And he's in the Skype call. Keep in mind, when you play with randoms like I do, you meet some of the most interesting people, I swear. And he's going off, and then finally the guy I'm playing with tells him, he goes, "Hey, man," he goes, "You're not even rated." He goes, "You're 1750 in 2s and you're 500 in 3s." He's like, "What are you talking about?" And then I go, "Yeah, dude, I don't even know your name." I was like, "Who the hell are you?" I was like, "I've never seen you on Twitch or YouTube. Well, I don't even know who you are. What the hell are you talking about?" And he just leaves the call. And so I guess he doesn't lose. I guess he's 1750 rating is God. But yeah, so there's some interesting people in this world. There really is, and I'm happy to play with all of them. it makes the week
Sounds like a
much
Friday
better.
night.
It's been a great week though. I just wish I was winning more this week, but hopefully this coming week I'll be better.
So people typically pick God comp because it's easier to win.
Yeah, it usually beats every comp. I know I'll get people to comment on that.
My only question is, so there's very little skill involved because it's the best? Is that my understanding?
Less skill involved.
No, and it's not an insult. That's a valid question because I always hear people say that. Whenever I hear people say that, I always think, well, why wouldn't you just want to hone your skills at what you're doing to? I don't know. Maybe that makes me weird.
People are very blunt on God comp. Like, "Oh, God comp, that's 2200 rating instantly." No, it's 2200 rated if you have everybody knows what the heck they're doing.
Right.
You have to still know what you're doing. You still have to know how to pillar hump. You still have to know how to CC at the right time and burst at the right time. You still have to communicate. And when you play with people you never met before, it's hard. It's very hard to do that. Yeah, maybe if you have 3 friends that you play with every single week, yeah, and you guys play God comp, it's got to be easy. It really does, because all you got to do is run around a pillar, you burst every 50 seconds, it's a great day. I totally get that. But when you play with random people like that, which say they're good, and then you find out 2 games later that they can't even do a thing, and they're not macros, they're not keybinds, and you find out real quickly by how they play. And I don't judge people. I really don't. I don't rant. I don't yell at people. I just kick them out of the group, and then that's it. It's over, and it's that simple. I'm not mean to anybody. I just kick them out. And I let the game in. I say, "Hey, thanks for the games," and then boom, they're booted. And then I just find another one.
When people are choosing to play God comp, its ultimate goal is
find 2 people that you want to play with all the time.
But because it's out of the box amazing already, there's not
you just got to find the right people to play with that are willing to learn and die with you is what God comp is. And then you get those people, you run it for weeks and months, it's going to be pretty easy at that point if you guys are good at what you do.
So then my question is, how come everybody's just not all God comp all the time?
They are. The top people.
A lot of them are.
They are.
KFC will beat them.
I don't know. I don't know. It depends who's playing.
I feel some type of way about that, and I feel like God comp's a cop out, but that's just my opinion.
It depends. It is okay. It is a cop out. Right? It is a cop out.
It's not just me that feels that way, though, right?
No, it is. It is. But it has its negatives. The negatives are it's a mage and a shadow priest.
Right.
There's the negatives. You can kill us. And there's the big negative, and usually it's a wrestle druid. This season it's been a holy paladin, and although I'm not running with the holy paladin, I just run the wrestle druids for the cyclone. Right. But if you do run with the druid, the druid healer is you can still kill him. A rogue and a hunter can still kill him. So it has its negatives. So each player has Berjura and his KFC comp can kill him. Yeah,
Berjura can kill you with one finger. I mean,
here's the thing.
For those who don't know what KFC is called Kung Fu Comp. That's warrior, hunter, usually shaman. And they have a lot of utility, a lot of burst. They can definitely take down A god comp, no problem. And by the way, have you noticed I've been studying up?
Oh my god, I can't believe you said KFC. I was hoping no one's gonna argue me.
That's
Oh my god, I can't believe we were talking about KFC right now. That's a whole
Can
other
we
thing.
stop talking about KFC because
yeah,
I'm
because I'm getting
hungry as
hungry.
all
So
Yeah.
shit.
we can
right
ask.
now.
Either way, these comps, I believe these comps are actually our comp. I think Dallas Singh hit that right on the dot because I watch Twitch and I do watch a lot of YouTubers a lot, and a lot of them said that they can't get to 25K
Without it, right?
without it.
Yeah.
They can't, and they've come out on Twitch and said that over the live stream, saying I'm never going to hit
Through
2600
25K, I want a
without going to a
20-piece
God
bucket
comp.
right now.
Especially-
That's all I'm
especially-
thinking.
I'll take some thighs, thank you.
Especially
We're
how-
talking about fried chicken.
Yeah, especially how OP the Shadow Priest are right now, and they can almost double the damage of most
Oh.
classes. It's ridiculous.
Once they get all their little dots in line and ICC the heal at the right time, if depending on how good the Shadow Priest, it depends how good all three players are. It's not. I hate people saying, "Oh, God comp is instant. God comp is an instant win. It's an instant win." It's like, dude, just shut up. Dude. You don't even know.
I have a totem.
I
You
have
know,
a-
crucifix.
I have
You
a
shall
chaos,
not.
and the chaos bolt hurt. That's what I know.
That's all I got.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of great comps with the Warlocks. I know a lot of people. Oh, I have a lot of things to say about the Warlocks. I have a lot of things to say about those people. Yeah.
They're awesome. Lycan, what did you do
Battles,
this
man.
week?
RBGs last night. I actually started going with my DK.
Was that not the funnest night ever? I had a blast.
Oh, it was a blast. And you know what? It's a little more stressful now that I'm being tagged as like flag carrier, certain situations, and I kind of got upset it was Zarth. Because last night I got the flag and I'm running across
And he was
midfield
not in blood?
I'm running. Well, no, I was in blood. He goes, but I looked like that fat kid that had like 4 or 5.
I know he
and
what
I
he said.
said you had 4 or 5 kids hanging off you, and
It
you're
was
just running
freaking
from the middle.
hysterical. I was dying. It was the best night ever. It was really fun.
Yeah, but I can't wait. I'm definitely looking forward to tonight and seeing how far we can actually take it. And by the way, shout out to Ella as well. Wonderful. Brought her in as a healer last night, and
She did me
she
proud.
did great.
She's going to get
She
double
really did
shout-outs
me
this
proud.
week. I'll get to that in a
She
sec.
did.
I'm gonna throw her under the bus. So Zar's standing there last night. We're in mid of I forget which one. And we're sitting there. There's a big battle going on. Here comes the big priest bubble, and it's up. Zarth goes and stands under, going, "Wait a minute, Ella, is that your priest bubble?" She goes,
Oh,
"Oh no, I forgot to put it on my bars.
it's not her
You
bubble.
never had the bubble on the bars."
That was
So,
so funny.
I've done that with Slowfall. I told you guys that story. I've done that with
I
Slowfall.
went to click it and it wasn't there. And you're like, what the heck?
but other than that, just raiding. We did great. Got to give a shout out to Riders Around. We went 5? We're working on boss 5 now on Terrangorphine.
Well, I haven't got the kill
four.
rock kill yet. That was you guys
Yeah.
because I wasn't able to raid. Wasn't able to do much because of work, but yeah.
Yeah. We're fighting Kilrog right now, and the team's really pulling together and doing pretty decent.
And you did some pet battling stuff this week, right?
Yeah,
The
got
Tanan
some
stuff?
pet battles. Got all the
He
Tanan
does
done.
pet battles every day.
I got my little Hoggers collar from That's Whack, and I picked up also the 2 new ones out of Darkmoon Fair. I haven't leveled them to 25 yet, but I could probably take care of that tomorrow morning. But yeah, definitely getting them up.
Bloke, what did you do this week?
I did because I've been missing for a little bit. The last 2 or 3 weeks have involved either not playing because I'm like all but dead, or if I have been playing, just doing random stuff as always, like the mount farms and things like that. But my shout out this week goes to Ella, who joined me when I was on the stream. Joined me for a Ice Crown run where it started out in Firelands and then she came to Ice Crown with me and she's like, "Oh, come along and I'll heal you and I'll do stuff." To which I ended up healing myself with my totems, and she just stood back and she's like, "Oh, look at the
That was
architecture
awesome.
in
That was so
here, and this
funny.
is amazing." And she's like, "Oh," basically she didn't do shit.
No, she just sat
So
down.
when we got to the top, when we go see our old buddy Arthas, I was like, I wonder. Yeah, no, bugger it. So you know the little frost orbs that drop around Arthas, that if they touch you, fly be free, you get punted off the side. So I spent most of the fight tracking around in circles, and I may or may not have not told her what was going on, and basically spent the entire fight tracking those orbs into her just to see how many of them
That's so mean.
could punch her off. And she caught on what was going on and started running away from him.
That's
And then
so
right
mean.
at the last second, we got Arthas down to that point where he stopped doing all these like spells and stuff. and there was one last orb that just hadn't despawned yet, and right at the last second, I managed to track it past her, send her flying, got the loot, and I was out of there.
Oh my
Well, that
god!
sounded like a typical man.
Love it.
Did my bit and left. So,
You got a caller.
I got to admit, I felt like an asshole, but it was like
Sounds
the
like a
greatest
typical man.
crowning achievement that I've had since being in Ice Crown originally and downing Arthas for the first time was purposely drop punting Ella off
I
the
do
side.
that to Shavi. Whenever I have some type of something on me that I shouldn't have and I'm supposed to take it away from the raid group, I love finding Shavi no matter where she is.
And just
up.
dropping
It's
it on.
my favorite. I do it every raid no matter what's going on.
It comes across mean from time to time, but everyone's done it at some stage. Like some of the old raids where you had the big drops, like what's the other one in Ice Crown where you fall through the ground? I can't think of the name of it now. The Argent Crusade.
Yeah.
And you got a raid full of 25 people, and as a champion, I'm sitting there seeing how many people I can put water walking on before the ground collapsed, just to see them hit the water and die. Like, it's one of those things. You have to have those 5 minutes of being an asshole just for a bit of a chuckle in a
You had a
raid
good
to break.
you had a good week then because you were killing.
I had an amazing week.
Glad to hear that, Dick.
She's gonna stab me in my sleeve.
She really is.
She's gonna wait till BlizzCon and end.
She really is going to kill you. My week was pretty awesome. I mean, I didn't get to play. I didn't get to do a whole lot of what I wanted to do in World of Warcraft because I do have the real life job that I actually have to physically go to. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we got the job next week where I'll be able to start going back working from home and I'll be normal again because I won't have to wear pants to work. So I should be hearing about that Monday or Tuesday.
Wearing pants anyway.
So I'm pretty excited about that. But World of Warcraft wise, so imagine my surprise when this filthy destruction warlock casual who's so dead and set in her ways that she refuses to go to Affliction logs in, and I actually got Challenger for 3s, and I was pretty happy. And I know that's scrub and that's all those things that Bryce is looking at me like, yeah, bitch, that's not even cool. And I don't even care because you know what? I got Challenger. I don't even give a fuck. I got Challenger on a spec. People tell me that I shouldn't play, and people don't want to play with me, but somebody does because I did it. You could say I was carried. It doesn't really matter. The point is I got the Challenger title, which is pretty legit. I mean, we obviously we all got the one for RBGs. We got that title, but it was pretty nice for me to have that. So I was happy with that little situation. But I've been spending a lot of time just having a good time in game. Nothing really too serious at the moment outside of the RBGs and I finally got to step back into raid last night because I hadn't.
I met a serious guy on the Skype call. He gets in the game, first game, not even played one yet. We haven't even played it. He just gets in the Skype call. He goes, "All right, guys, I'm a little high rated for you guys. I'm just gonna try to teach you guys real quick. If you guys don't catch along, then I'm just gonna leave." And me and my guy who I was playing with, we just kicked him out of the party and got someone else. We didn't even bother with him. We're like, this guy's too hardcore. Yeah. He's going to teach us real quick about our classes.
I don't like to play with random
do that.
people. But that's just because I don't want anybody to yell at me.
I can't get enough of random people. But I will say this. I will come out and say that if anybody out there in the world of Warcraft is looking for a Frost Mage to be part of their PvP team, God Comp, want to carry me, I'm sold. You just send me an invite.
Send me a nude, and I'm there.
I will send you a nude. I would love to be carried.
thing.
Yes, I would love to be carried in God Comp. That would be great. Thank you.
You're all. Thank you. Call me.
Call me.
Call me. You call
right
me.
now. My Skype name is Friza88.
That's freaking hysterical. I think we had a pretty good. There's been a lot going on in World of Warcraft in small amounts, and in lieu of the announcement with the no more raid this expansion, kind of just continuously pushes us into that direction of there's going to be an expansion sooner than everybody thinks, which, we'll see what they worked out from there. And it makes sense that they wouldn't fix anything in Warlords of Draenor because a lot of people didn't like it. Why would they keep pumping money and development into something that everybody had an issue with? So
I got so much to say. It's going to keep it all in the closet for now.
Keep it in the closet with your pantyhose.
Yes, I got so much stuff to say. Let's just keep it in there with the dolls.
The
The
pantyhose
dolls,
and the doll. That's
and
even
dolls. Yeah, the blow up doll.
The fleshlight. Got it.
We're good.
What? Not everybody has blow up dolls. Not as funny.
This is going to be
I
on the
thought
highlight
that
reel. So if
was-
you're watching this and you go to pull the videos for the marketing this week, please make sure you take that little
Oh, my God.
Easter egg and post that bad
Podcast
boy.
After Dark episode 437.
That's going to go in the archives under amazing.
This is late night with Frieza.
So
We're going to talk about ice blocks.
while we wrap this up, everybody's pretty much. I've had a lot of good feedback for the website relaunch for the new design with the mobile.
Looks amazing.
Did you like that? I figured you.
I
know you've
loved
been
it.
busy working this week, but I figured you would like it.
It makes it real bold and open for you. Just like, I want this article. Boom.
Me
you know?
and IT, which is Ella, Heather's husband, we worked on it. We did a lot of late nights and getting things going, and we were pretty happy to represent it. We did really good with the first one that we came out with, and then we just knew that we could top it and do better. And it's mobile friendly, which you can't go wrong anytime you introduce a mobile friendly aspect to people that only usually go on their cell phones. So, Frieza, what's your battle tag so everybody can get a hold of you?
Mine is Frosty1321 is my gamer tag, and people keep sending me friend invites. Send me a friend invite, and if I accept it, and if I'm online, I get on about 7, 8 to 9 o'clock at night, Mountain Time. Send me an invite to one of your games, and let's do some arenas. And I'm pretty much going to be down. I am only running God Comp this season. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. So, again, if you have a Druid or a Shadow Priest and you want to team up with me, and you're not 2,500K and you're going to yell at me, then yeah, I'm in. I also ran into another guy, very, very interesting this week. He didn't like that I didn't use my Ice Novas with his, I can't remember the Shadow Priest ability. It's one of his bursting abilities. One of you guys may know of it. I don't know. But he didn't like how I wasn't using my Ice Novas in the same second as he was using his ability, and he thought I should have been on top of that.
You know what I love about Shadow Priest? So Wiener's a Shadow Priest, and consistently I will overextend as a Warlock. Always. Every single freaking RBG,
Yes.
and I don't even mind because it's my favorite thing to jump in the middle of all the fuckery, and she consistently pulls me out of trouble, and I love it. It's my favorite. I'll literally think I'm dying, and here comes the freaking hand of God, and she pulls me right out of it, and I'm like, thank you.
The Shadow Priest that I play with, the guy is amazing. It's funny. I'll blazing speed away from a Death Knight, then he'll run after me. Then I blink away from the Death Knight, and then he'll pull me, and then I get pulled by the priest. And it's just like,
It's
this
nice
is
when
what
they
I'm
catch
talking
that. Yeah,
about.
it's nice when they catch that.
I love how that all works, and I do my part as well. And
I can't grip anybody, but I'll fear the fuck out of somebody. So
and I will
if you're in trouble,
freeze
I got you.
everybody. I will deep freeze, Ringo. I will keep everybody away from me if
I
you're
will
dying.
fear all of the things with 2 mile radius.
I've got totems.
you have wonderful totems.
All I picture of a shaman when he comes in the arena, he has a totem out like a priest, and he's just like, "You will not CC me. You will
I
not."
rebuke you in the name of all things.
Yeah,
Holy.
I rebuke you with my totems.
The power of Green Jesus compels you.
That's
Yes.
Not that guy, man.
I love
that guy into it.
Lycan, how can everybody get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me at Lycan at phonecast.net. You can also find me on Argent Dawn. I'm always on there, always playing. So hop on over and get a hold of me that way as well.
You can find Bloke on a whole different freaking planet. Bloke, where can they get a hold of you at?
I have been on a different planet for the last 2 weeks. I just want to point out, so that was relevant. Mr. Giant 1113 for BattleNet, but you can find me on Amenthal on the Oceanics, hanging out with the Knights of Dark Age. Hi, Dad. Or Argent Dawn. God knows what I do over
Did you
there.
say hi, Dad?
I said hi, Dud.
Oh, because that would have been interesting.
But
I was going to want to
You know what? My dad
comment
does
more
watch,
on that.
so
You're calling
hi,
Daddy.
Dad.
Oh, he does watch?
Yeah, Dad. There you go. That'll
Got
get him
it.
covered for the next 3 weeks.
But you will be out next week because you're going to
Ebola country.
try to capture
Right.
Ebola alive in a petri dish to bring it back for us to study. Awesome.
Yeah,
You can find me pretty much all over Azeroth at any given moment. We do make sure you guys are checking out the Facebook page, facebook.com/Pwnecast. Make sure you're also checking out Pwnecast Daily Quest. .com. Make sure you guys are commenting on the videos. You guys have been doing such a good job with that. The feedback that we get consistently on a weekly basis is amazing. I love the emails. I love it when you guys reach out. I love the comments on the video. We all check it out every week, every day, and I love that you guys are consistently giving us feedback and kind of going back and forth with us. I think that's pretty awesome. And make sure you guys consistently check out the PwnCastDailyQuest.com for all of that good stuff, and make sure you're also checking out the Twitch, which is twitch.tv/PwnCast as well. We are going to go ahead and get out of here because I can already see people prepping with their tiny little creepy action figures, and that's usually code for I have to get the hell out of
Why
it's
would
happening.
I do something fair like that?
And Bloke's face
Look,
already told me that the action figures were underway because he looked.
I'm laughing because these two idiots have got one for a change.
Xbox.
I am Ezio Auditore.
I don't have any action figures, but I got candy. That's it. I don't.
Well, that works. You know what? That's your homework for next week.
Well, I have these, my little,
They don't count.
my little health and
They can't be
management.
consumable.
But I can't,
They
they can't talk to
consume
each other, like you guys do.
Hey, I asked my son for these, so you can ask one of your kids for one of theirs.
She's even a casual when it comes to her action figures. Damn it.
What
This
does
is
Bloke
big.
carry?
That's
Oh.
But this is scale. This is huge blow. This will be a fail.
You're a
This will
dick.
be a full. This will
On
be a
that
full
note,
round.
we
Let's
are
go.
going to go ahead and get on out of here. Make sure you guys give the video a like and give us a comment.
I have the power.
Thank you guys for spending an hour with us each week. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us and giving us some time in Monday. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Totally.
Do you guys have those ready by the computer?
Yeah. You know what's funny? Is before I got on here, when I walked away to go smoke, and he said, "Hey, buddy," he goes, "What's up?" I said, "Can you run upstairs and give me one of your action figures?"
You really do have the Price has them right by all his figures.